I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with some stuff that I purchased off of the Jill Stuart website. They came out with a new holiday collection and two more of their Bloom Mix blushes, and if you've watched me for a while, you guys know I absolutely love the Bloom Mix blushes from Jill Stuart. So she came out with two more, and the packaging on this one is pink with a little bit of a patterned inlay in there, and then the acrylic is also tinted with a hint of pink there, and then they have the little detachable jewels that you can put on there as well. Jill Stuart products are made in Japan, and each one of these blushes has got 0.15 ounces of product. So this is the box packaging that they come in. So we have got shade number 17, Dreamy Ranunculus, which is my favorite out of the two. This is the most pretty baby pink lilac on the cheeks. I love it. You can kind of customize your shade depending on where you put your brush. I kind of like to swirl it in there and then grab just a little bit more pigment in this one because these two lighter shades will make it quite light. But you could also, if you like a subtle type of a highlighter, just use those two shades for a highlight. But I'm just going to swirl them together here. Let's grab a little bit more like of these guys because that's kind of how I used it on my face. But the Bloom Mix blushes are just so easy to use. They're very light and kind of airy, and I think that they impart a beautiful glow on the cheeks. The ease of use is one of the things that I absolutely love about them, but this one here is the shade 17 Dreamy Ranunculus. I'll swatch it with them all together too, so you can just see the pastel kind of lilac that it is with that too. So that is Dreamy Ranunculus, number 17, and that's the packaging. And then the next shade is number 18, Kingdom Bouquet. Same style of packaging on this one. This one is pretty light. Probably on a lot of skin tones, it may even be like a highlighter shade, but it's a very, very light nude peach on me. So I'll kind of give a swatch all together and then focus over here a little bit. So this one, yeah, this one is very, very pastel, very, very light. But that one is the number 18 Kingdom Bouquet right there. When I've used this one, I kind of almost primarily focus my brush over here to get the pigment out of it because it's not quite sparkly enough for my liking to use as a highlighter. It's a very soft, subtle kind of a sheen. Also from Jill Stuart, I got the Palace Dream collection, which is another one of their holiday launches. Jill Stuart is also doing 20% off, I believe, on the website right now. This particular set isn't included, but the blushes are. So this is her kind of holiday release. This is the box packaging. And this set comes with 3 items. There's a makeup bag in there with like this little lace kind of skirting with some satinness to it. It's kind of cute. And then there's a little pouch on the inside as well. So it comes with that. And then it also comes with a lipstick. And this is the shade the Rouge Lip Blossom in Palace Dream. So I think it must be an exclusive shade to this set. So this is the packaging right here. And there's kind of a little pink jewel on there. And these little lipsticks, they have a cute little feature. You can flip the top up. So if you wanted to see, you know, putting on your lipstick, you could use the little mirror and the cap. But this is a little bit deeper of a rosy shade than something I'd wear every day. And I will mention that Jill Stuart products are kind of fragranced with rose. So if you don't like that fragrance scent, the blushes do not linger at all. I can taste a bit of that in the lipsticks, however. So here is the Palace Dream shade right here. And again, it's just a kind of a deeper rosy neutral shade. And then the third item is the palette, which is what I really wanted out of the collection. Jill Stuart products are kind of like, they're kind of like a whole vibe. I like the brand for what it is. Like when I wear like Jill Stuart products and I'll put on like a colorful wing, kind of like how I have today, the lids just look very pretty and soft, and then the liner just really pops on them. So that's kind of how I like to use the Jill Stuart products. And then too, if you have like older or more kind of fine lines in your lids and stuff like that, Jill Stuart shadows have a sparkle to them that's very pretty and subtle, and it doesn't like overemphasize the fine lines in the eyes. So like the last year's palette I bought, I gave it to my mom to use, and she loved it so much that she bought herself one, and she's going back and forth right now on wanting to buy this set too, just for this palette, because I also gave this one to her and let her use it for the last couple days. But this has actually got a highlight in it and a cheek color and then 8 eyeshadows. So packaging is very, very cute. Acrylic with a pink tinge to it. And then you have got a little sponge tip applicator that I don't really use, and a good size mirror in there. And then you've got a highlighter and a blush. Again, the highlighter is much too soft for how I like to use highlighter, and the blush is really pretty. It's very similar formulation to the singles, and I also actually used that as an eyeshadow as well, and it worked out great. Let me go ahead and swatch these for you guys. Everything in here has got a satin finish or a shimmer to it, but it's soft shimmer. So these are the two face products right there, and I'll swatch this little quad over here first. I wore that blue on the inner corner, and it was quite brightening, but it was really, really soft. You can like even see in the swatches here the softness in these shadows. And then these ones over here. So hopefully you can kind of tell based off these swatches whether or not it's something that you would like. I use it directly over kind of the CoverGirl foundation that I use for an eyeshadow primer. And it clings onto the sparkles pretty well. But you can see right there, it's a very soft palette, but it does look very pretty on the eyes. So that is the Palace, what did I call it? The Palace Dream palette right there in the collection. And then next up, I bought a couple items from MAC off of the Ulta website, but MAC on their website is having a wicked sale right now. I don't know how many websites I loaded up my cart and then just didn't place the order. I placed quite a few, but there's other websites where I just would like load up my cart and then I wouldn't like place the order. Do you guys do that, or is that just me? But I did the same thing on the MAC website, and so I've got a bunch of stuff sitting in my bucket that I may or may not, I haven't decided, may or may not get. So anyway, these are the products that I got off of Ulta. I got another one of the Creme de Nude Cream Sheen lipsticks because I've really been loving this one, and I put the remainder of what I had in the bullet in my bag along with the remainder of a Kim KW one that I had, and then I wanted one for in here. So I got another Creme de Nude, which is just a nude lipstick, and I love the Cream Sheen formula from MAC. And then I also got one of the Rosalia collection lipsticks, and I got the shade Achiote. This is what the packaging on this collection looks like. I believe all of MAC products are made in Canada, at least, yeah, these lipsticks are. And this is the packaging right here, and this particular shade is an amplified cream, which is another good shade from MAC. So this is kind of a peachy coral color. It's really pretty. I'm glad that I picked this one up. A soft peachy coral. So that's the Achiote shade right there from the Rosalia collection. And then from that same collection, I got the face palette, so it's also the Rosalia collection. So this guy here is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish times 4 palettes. There's a total of 0.56 ounces of product, and this one here is made in Italy because big gelée. So this is a cardboard packaging with a plastic insert. There is a mirror in there, and then you have got 4 big gelée face products. So this is too light to be a bronzer for me, but too dark to be a highlighter, so I'd actually mixed it in with the blush to add a little bit more warmth to it, and then I can wear this one by itself as a blush. But these particular baked gelées are very kind of dry feeling. I did have a hard time getting them to kind of stick to my skin, so like when I used the highlighter portion, I sprayed it with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Mist, and that did help, but I don't recall having such a hard time getting the Extra Dimension formula to kind of stick to my skin. So I wish that there was a little bit more tack to these. They just feel a little bit drier, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you guys anyways here. They're still really pretty, but again, they're just, I don't know, I feel like they're just missing a little something something. That blush shade does look pretty on as a blush. So those are the shades in the Rosalia face palette right there. And then I also got one of the Extra Dimension Skin Finish palettes from the holiday collection. And the one that I picked up is the Step Bright Up. I get it. Extra Dimension Skin Finish palette. So this is the lighter of the two that they came out with. And there's a total of 0.31 ounces of product, or 9 grams in here. And this one is also made in Italy because, again, baked gelée. So it's part of their holiday collection with their kind of funky little packaging there. It's cardboard again with the plastic insert. Again, these are baked gelée, and you know what I had to do? I had such a hard time picking up pigment in here, and again, these are much more subtle and they just feel a little bit drier than what I can remember, and I sprayed my brush too, but like I was pushing my brush in there trying to pick up the product, and I actually went in with a spoolie to kind of shave some product off and then pick it up because I had such a hard time getting it to pick up, and I don't usually have that much trouble picking up product that's baked gelée. You guys know I love a baked gelée formula, but this particular one, I don't know, man. It just didn't feel quite the same. So you can see I kind of made a mess there. I wasn't that impressed with it, unfortunately. It's just lacking something. Same with these ones. Like they could have a little more something, like a little more pigment maybe, a little less dry and a little more pigmentation to them, a little more sparkle, a little more something. But that one there is the light version in the holiday collection of the Step Bright Up Extra Dimension palette right there. This is the shiniest shade, and of course that shade's a bit too deep for me to use as a highlighter, but I wanted that kind of a shine in these two products, you know what I mean? Anyway, that is that guy right there. And then I also picked up one of the Shade Shifter duochrome eyeshadows from the collection, and I got the shade Calling Your Bluff. Super cute packaging, and I got this and opened it up and my eyes were just, you know, twinkling with looking at it in the pan, and then I swatched it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I need all of them, right? So that's when I loaded up my MAC cart bucket or whatever, because they had the sale going on. And then the next day I used this on the lids, and I used it directly over the primer that I use, which has a nice bit of tack to it. And it was just a little bit hard to work with. And then the overall after effect wasn't quite the punch that I thought it was going to have. It was a little bit hard to pick up on a brush, and it's a little bit chunkier and flakier. It picks up in chunks and you kind of have to spread them apart with a brush on your lid. So I'm just going to stick with this one. It is pretty. It's got some nice sparkle to it and stuff like that, but I was expecting a little more from it when I put it on the lid. So again, it is pretty. The packaging is very cute. And this is the Calling Your Bluff shade. It's like a purple with a gold duochrome shift to it. And I kind of feel about it on the same way I feel about those kind of highlighter products. Like, I wished it had a little more oomph to it or something. But it is a pretty shade nonetheless. Just, I don't know, like if you look at it in the pan and then look at it on, I just expected a little bit more from it. Also from Ulta, I went ahead and got the new Lorac Pro palette in the Fairy Tale Forest shade. It just looked like a really pretty one. I had good luck with the first ones, so I went ahead and got this one. So there are 18 eyeshadows in here, a total of 0.56 ounces of product. And this guy right here is made in China. Quick mention, the single shadow right here from MAC was made in Italy. This is a cardboard packaging, and then there is a mirror in there. And I wish that they would print the shades inside of the palette instead of just on this card. So I'm actually going to keep this, or like tape it to the mirror, because I don't use the mirrors anyway, so that I can hang on to the shade names. But this is actually the palette that I have on my eyes today. And their new palettes like this are removable. They're magnetized inside, which I really like, that you can pull them out and like maybe put them in a big palette with the rest of them and stuff like that. The names are not on the back though. And again, this is the shadow palette that I have on my eyes today. The mattes blended out really nicely. They're pigmented. The shimmers are very pretty, but some of them, like these two shades right here, there's quite a bit, you can feel like there's some silicones in them, so it's kind of a heavier formula. I had more difficulty picking those up on a brush. And then again, kind of like that MAC shade, I had to kind of spread it out on the lid. It's a very pretty shimmer, but I did have to work with it a little bit. A couple of these other shades too, they're kind of a heavier formula. Like you can feel the silicone in there again, and it's a little bit more difficult to pick up on a brush. But they are very pretty nonetheless. And then this top row is matte, and then these two right here are mattes, and then these 10 are all shimmer shades. So I'll go ahead and swatch it for you. I do like the formulation of these mattes in these new Lorac palettes much better than I like the formulation in their original Pro palettes. Those were just very, very thin and dusty to me, and I had a really hard time blending those shadows. These ones blend a lot better for me. Yeah, like these two, those two sparkly shades, they almost feel like a cream. There's so much kind of, I'd say, a silicone in them. I was trying to figure out what shade I forgot, and I think I forgot to swatch this one. Get back in line, Dara. Oh, one more. Oh, I'm slacking. Overall, I'd say it's a neutral palette. So like when I used it, it's pretty. I think the look turned out really pretty. But I needed more punch. So I was like, let's get some punch. So I put on a bright purple eyeliner. And then this bottom row right here. Yeah, these 4 shades right here feel very much like a cream formulation. And then the last 2. So there are the swatches right there of the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette. And then I also picked up the new Tartelette Full Bloom eyeshadow palette, Amazonian Clay eyeshadow palette. This is, I think, one of the biggest like palettes like this that Tarte has come out with. And I was like, no, don't get that. You have got all them. You have all those shades and stuff. And then I was reading the description. It said all new shades. And I was like, don't gotta tell me twice. So I went ahead and I picked it up. It's a pretty substantially sized palette. So there is a total of, let me see here, 28 shades that are 0.038 ounces per shade. So almost 0.04 ounces, and it's made in the USA. So this is the box packaging, and then the actual packaging is a hard, kind of nice, sturdy feeling plastic packaging there. And there's a giant mirror in here. And then here are your 28 eyeshadows. The reflection is kind of fooling the camera, I think, a little bit. But, I mean, upon first glance, it looks like a total bunch of the same kind of shades. If you have a lot of the In Bloom palettes, you would have probably quite a few similar shades. They are considered new shades for Tarte, but they are very similar shades to stuff that they've done in the past. I will say I got along with the formula really well. The very first Tartelette palette that came out, those mattes were just the worst for me. They were so dry and chalky and patchy. I couldn't get them to blend. These were much nicer. I feel like they're more substantial. So I am glad that I got it. I brought out the 2 kind of juicy palettes to show them next to this one. Even though this one's called the Full Bloom, I feel like the In Bloom palette, the original 12 pan, is much more neutral compared to the shades in here. These are more rosy. Even some of these shades on the bottom, there's just more rosiness to it, and I liken it more closely to the juicy palettes than I do the In Bloom palette. So let's go ahead and swatch some of these guys. There's a great array of mattes and shimmers in this palette. Tons of options. I mean, if you have a bunch of Tarte palettes already, do you have these shades? Yes, you do. And these guys. And then these next ones. These guys. I definitely haven't used like every shade in this palette, but I did do 2 looks with it. And they were pretty neutral kind of looks. The shimmers are pretty, but they're not like bam, like in your face kind of shimmers really. These guys. They could have probably put a little bit more depth in some of the shades. but this one, this is the deepest shade in the palette, this matte brown. I have to swatch these over here. And then these last four. So there are the swatches right there of the Tarte Full Bloom eyeshadow palette. So hopefully that'll kind of tell you whether or not this is something that you would like to pick up. Very neutral, but leans rosy. Let me show it next to the other two palettes. Here it is next to the Tartelette Juicy palette, the bigger Juicy palette, so you can definitely see some similarities there. And then here it is next to the smaller Tartelette Juicy palette, the 12 pan, which is a little bit more berry toned in there. I also got the new BH Mrs. Claus Santa's Daughter is Here to Slay. I don't know what that title. The Lit List eyeshadow palette, again from BH Cosmetics. I got this one because last year's palette like this was so good. And I'm happy to say that this one is just as good as last year's. Like the formula is super nice on this one, and you do get a ton of product. There are 30 eyeshadows in here for a total of 35 grams of product, so you're getting over a gram per eyeshadow. This one is made in the PRC. This is the sleeve that the palette comes in. It's a cardboard packaging, and it's white, and it's got kind of some shiny snowflakes, and I don't know what's up with the dollar signs that are in there, but there's like dollar signs in some of the shadows too. There is no mirror. I don't know about some of their sayings in this stuff. There is one pressed glitter in this palette, and that's this center one right here. But these shimmers are super pretty, like very nice quality. The mattes are pigmented, they blend out really well too. Like am I gonna swatch this whole thing? I'm gonna swatch some of these shades for you guys so you can get an idea of them. But this is a really nice palette, just like last year's like this. Let me I'll grab some more of the shimmer shades. Gosh, they're really a nice formulation though, you guys. I like them a lot. Get this taupey shade. I wouldn't sleep on this one. I think the quality is really nice. I wish that BH would bring in this formulation on all of their palettes, because they can be hit or miss. The more recent ones I've tried from BH, so I've been really impressed with. Let's go ahead and grab some of the mattes here. Some of these rich kind of colors, some browns, this blue. It's very holiday-esque for sure too. Like I really get the holiday vibes with some of these shades. This color is beautiful. I gotta swatch that one. It's a shiny one. But let's get this taupey one. Let's get this one. This one. Ulta's having some, I think there's $10 off $40 coupons going on too. And all these shadows with this nice quality, I think this is $28, and there's definitely some coupons floating around for it too. Really nice palette from BH Cosmetics right there, and that is the Mrs. Claus, the Lit List eyeshadow palette right there. Try to get you guys my camera to focus here. Oh. Also at Ulta, I got this Morphe X Pony Constellation Sky eyeshadow palette. The tones in this just, I don't know, they just kind of spoke to me and I had to have it. So I got it. And this is a large, one of their big palettes here. So this guy's got 39 shades in it. And this guy is made in China. There's a total of 1.92 ounces of product in here. So you are getting a ton of product. This is the box packaging. Here is the actual packaging. It is a cardboard packaging, very, very large. The back, it's really pretty, the imagery on here. There's the Morphe X Pony on there, and then here are your shades. When I flipped my cover over, I was really sad about this, and I did it slow too, but it cracked. I was really sad that it did that, and I know if I glue it back on, the paper is just not long enough for it to go all the way back, so you might want to be a little bit careful with that if you do get this palette. But I have been wanting to use this palette every day. I wore this yesterday, and I wore it the day before that, and a couple days prior to that, and I just want to keep using this. The colors in here are so pretty. They're like murky, rosy pastels in there and some really pretty purples, and then the neutrals that are in here have like a yellow base to them. They're like a yellow undertone to them that makes them kind of unique. Like these shades right here, again, they have like this, I don't know, this muted kind of neutral yellow undertone to them that's really, really pretty. And then these kind of swirly shades, these are kind of like putty shades. There's definitely some silicone in those ones, but there's really fine sparkles that are suspended in the formulation. So because they have that putty kind of texture, they are a little bit more difficult to pick up on a brush. I like swirl my brush in there. But again, because of that, the formulation, it makes those sparkles stick and shine really well on the lid. So I really like that about those shades, even though they can be a little bit finicky. And then some of the other shimmers are pressed a little bit hard and you have to kind of grind your brush in there, which I've had that experience with other Morphe palettes in the past too, but they're also suspended with these really pretty sparkles that, because the formulation's like that, they adhere on the lid really well without like falling on your face. So I really like the color story in here, and the mattes perform really well. They're pigmented, they blend out super nice. Like I said, some of these more sparkly shades, they are a little bit more finicky and stiff, like they're pressed hard, but it's that formulation that suspends those sparkles is how I can kind of put it. But let me swatch some of these. These ones, because they're like that puttiness, they don't swatch super well. I really like grind my brush in there to pick up product and kind of pack them on the lid. But I'm just kind of giving you guys a random little swatch fest here. But I think they're so pretty. I love the color story in here. Murky, rosy pastels, like... Again, I just continually want to reach for this for whatever reason. Get this blue one. This rosy one. Such a big palette though. Like I like the color story so much that I wish I had a little more condensed one, because I feel like this is a palette I'd like to take with me if I were to go on a trip or something like that. But I suppose since I broke the binding, I could always depot it, right? Let's get a couple more of these kind of neutral shades over here. This rosy one. I'll grab a couple more of these purples here. Yeah, I really like this palette. Like I said, some of those shimmery shades can be a little bit finicky. They're pressed hard, but they suspend that sparkle really, really well, and it adheres to the eye. And the mattes are great. I really like this color story. I wish my palette didn't break, but that's the Morphe X Pony palette right there. And then next up, I placed an order on the Nomad Cosmetics website, and I picked up almost every product that I didn't have on their website. So I got 50% off of everything because I think my whole order was like over $150, so I got 50% off. Such a good deal, and I really enjoy the Nomad brand. So I got this Sydney Bather's face palette, which I thought this was going to be a lot smaller. This is like a full-sized face palette. This is the box packaging. So this destination is Sydney, Australia, and it has a glowing warm bronzer, a rich chocolate matte bronzer, a goldenrod illuminator, and then a powder pink highlighter on the back. And there's a total of, let me see here, 0.2 ounces times 4. So each product is 0.2 ounces, and all the Nomad products are made in China. So here is the packaging. It is a cardboard packaging, and then inside you do have a mirror, and then you have got 2 highlighter shades. This one is light enough for me, and this is actually the highlighter that I have on the top of my cheekbones. I really do like this formulation. I have a single highlighter from them that I really like as well. This one's a little bit too deep for me, but I can mix it in with these deeper shades to add more goldenness if I wanted to. So these 3 are shimmer shades, and then this is a matte bronzer, and I've also got the bronzer on my skin mixed in with a little bit of the shimmer portion. Just really, really nice. And again, this is so much larger than I thought it was going to be. Like, it looked like a little 4-pan on the website. And these are like kind of full-size face products. And this is, again, the highlighter and bronzer that I have on today. So just a really pretty peachy pink kind of sheen to it. And then a golden one, a bronzy golden, and then a matte bronzer here. So that one is the, what do they call this? The Sydney Bathers palette right there. I also got the Studio 54 set, so I got both of the face products and then also the eyeshadow quad. So the box packaging on this one is super cute as well. And so this destination, of course, is New York, New York. So this first one is the Multichrome Disco Lighter. And this would be a blush for me. It's the shade Disco Nights. It's got a gold packaging. There is like writing on here, but it's very, very faint with all the sparkly glitters. So this is a peachy orange, and again, it would be definitely a blush for me. This formulation is very silicone heavy as well. So you kind of have to use a more stiff brush to pick up the product, but it has this really beautiful sparkle in it. Grab a little bit more. Yeah, on a deeper skin tone than mine, that would be a really pretty highlighter, but for me, that's kind of like a blush or a blush topper. So that one is the Disco Nights right there. The other disco lighter is Hot Shot, and this is a pink, blue, purple kind of duochrome. This shade is an exact dupe of one of the shades that's in the eye quad as well, just to make mention, but this is something that I would use as a blush or a blush topper. And this is like, you guys know how I feel about products with this like multi-chrome with the purple, blue, and pink. I just love that. It's so, so pretty. So that is the Hot Shot Disco Lighter right there. And then here is the Studio 54 Multichrome Disco Shadow Palette. And so this shade right here is pretty much the same as that highlighter that I just swatched, that guy right there. And then you've got, this is like a yellow orange pink. Again, this is a thicker formulation, but it suspends sparkle really well because of that. Just really shiny. So that, oh, I think I went over that with the wrong one here. Whoops. So that one right there is the Studio 54 Multichrome Disco Shadow Palette right there. And then I also got another one of their older releases. This is the Lake Como Intense Eyeshadow Palette. So this would be Destination Lake Como. And this is a really pretty blue, green eyeshadow palette. And this guy has got a total of 0.05 ounces per shade times 9. So this one's a little bit more subtle. There aren't any of those like kind of sparkle suspended shades in here. This is more like a standard shimmer matte formulation, but the colors are really pretty, and I do really like how the Nomad formulation performs. That's why I have them all, I think. I did watch somebody's declutter video, and they had an older Nomad palette that was before I knew about the brand, And I don't have that one. And I feel incomplete without it. Silly, I know, but... And then these next ones. That blue is so poppin'. And then this last one here. It's kind of a deep navy. But those are the swatches right there for the Lake Como eyeshadow palette. This one is also a cardboard packaging there. I also got the Venice Simplon Express Carry-On eyeshadow palette. So this is a spin-off of their larger palette. All of the shades in here are also in the larger palette, which I also have. But anyway, that's besides the point. This is a more travel-friendly version. So it's got like this felt top to it. And this has also got 0.05 ounces of product across 9 shades. And then there's a mirror in there as well. This one here is not a standalone for me because I'd have to bring in something a little bit lighter. Because things are mid-tone or deeper in here. But the shades and the quality are very nice. Oof, look at that red. And then this center shade is one of those ones that has that really pretty sparkle in it. And then this last shade here, which is a gold. That is Christmas vibes for sure there. So that one is the Venice Simplon Express Carry-On eyeshadow palette right there. And then this last palette is their Home for the Holidays palette, which just launched. This is a limited edition one. There's also 9 shadows in here that are 0.05 ounces each. And the inspiration for this palette is a family and fur babies. So there's a little cutout with a dog with a Santa hat on there. And it says on the back, proud supporter of the Humane Society of Dallas County. So, and destination is Home for the Holidays on that one. This is another one of the glitter style packaging right there. And these are all shimmer shades. And something that I thought was really nice is this doesn't have a plastic insert in it, which is something I think they might go to. Instead, it's got a really fine piece of tissue paper as opposed to plastic. So I just felt the need to mention that. And then it's got little snowflakes and dogs kind of around the mirror and inside the packaging there. And then here are your 9 eyeshadows. I guess there is like a satin, it's a matte, satin matte black down there. These shimmers are so pretty. Like when I first saw this, I was like, oh, those kind of look kind of like basic colors, but these are that formulation that have that really pretty suspended sparkle in them. So I love that particular formulation. And this is almost a full palette of shades like that. So I'm super happy that I was able to get my hands on it. I was holding out for the sale, and I was hoping that it wasn't going to sell out before then because it's one of their limited releases. See, do you see like that glaze in there? That is just something I love about the Nomad Sparkle Shadows. They almost have like a wet look to them. They do. They do have a wet look to them. And then these next ones. Oof. And this last shade, which is a black. A very rich black. Very, very rich black. So pretty though. So that guy is the Nomad Home for the Holidays eyeshadow palette right there. And the last time I looked, it was still in stock. I also placed an order on the Bobbi Brown website. I think they were doing 40% off, and I saw this Luxe Illuminating Duo in pink or rose. So I decided to pick it up. I believe it's from their holiday collection. So this guy here is made in Italy because there's a Baked Gelée product in there. The Baked Gelée product is 0.12 ounces and then the bottom product is 0.1 ounces. So the packaging is really pretty. It's been such a long time since I purchased anything from Bobbi Brown. But here are your products. So these are kind of blush shades for me. It's a pink with a golden shimmer to it. So this one is Baked Gelée, and this one is just kind of like a sparkly, pinky, golden kind of shimmer to it. And that's actually the blush that I have on my cheeks today, is this guy right here. But I'll give you some swatches here. They're just very sparkly, pink again with golden shifts to them. The bottom half has got more piecey sparkle than the top, but they are very similar shades, just different formulations and kind of textures to them. So I got that guy right there. So it's the pink gold glow and the gilded pink shimmering powder right there from Bobbi Brown. And then I also purchased 6 of the new Viseart eyeshadow palettes. They came out with 4 new Petit Four quads. And then they also came out with 2 new 9-pan or 12-pan eyeshadow palettes. 12 pans are 0.63 ounces total product, and then the 4 pans are 0.21 ounces of product. And the shadow size in these ones are kind of their midi pans, so they're not the ones from the full-size ones, and they're not the itty bitty guys. They're that middle range. And I just got these, and I have not used any of them, but I wanted to swatch them in this video because they are having a really good sale on the Viseart website, and they're also having a really good sale on the Muse Beauty Pro website. So I actually purchased these ones off the Muse Beauty Pro website, and then I also bought the new it's a Paris, it's one of the Petit Pro, the little itty bitty guys, on the Viseart website. That one is not here yet, but I wanted to swatch these so in case you were interested in them, you could get them when they're having this really good sale. So I'll start off with the Petit Four in Bullion. So this is the style packaging, and these are all removable as well, so you can take them out. This one's got 3 shimmers and 1 matte eyeshadow in here. This one's very, all of these new like Petit Fours are like real holiday vibes. Oof. You guys know I really adore my Viseart eyeshadows. Look at that. Oh, I haven't swatched any of these yet, even just to like look at or anything. That's beautiful. So that is the Bullion quad. And then we have got the Lapis quad, which is in the bluer packaging. This one has also got 3 shimmers and 1 matte. The 1 matte is down here in the corner. Gosh, these are like super, super pretty. Oh, I think what I might do with all of my Petit Fours is take them all out and put them in a larger palette. I feel like I'll get more use out of them like that. But that one is the Lapis right there in the blue. And then we have got Garnet, which is in the red, kind of a red-orange packaging. 3 shimmers, 1 matte in this guy as well. Those are your 3 shimmers and 1 matte. Oh gosh, these they just feel really nice. They feel like very, very creamy. Those 2 matte shades from the Lapis and the Garnet are really blending into my skin tone. But there is Garnet. And the last Petit Four is the green one in Peridot. And this one is so pretty. 3 shimmers, 1 matte. Your 1 matte is this kind of mid-tone brown up here. I cannot wait to wear these. So that one right there is Peridot. Then you got Garnet, Lapis, and I can't remember what the first one is called. It is called Bullion. So those are the swatches for the new Petit Fours right there. And then we've got the Viseart 12 pan right here with a kind of a green packaging as well. So this one here is full of jewel toned mattes and shimmers. Oh, I cannot wait to wear these. But I want to swatch these for you guys before that sale ends. Just in case you want to get them. Get a good sale. Middle row. This one I would probably, not probably, for the way I like to do shadow, I'll definitely be bringing in something a little lighter. Because everything's mid-tone or deeper in this one. And then this last row, which is all shimmers, like jewel tone shimmer shades. Oof. So there are the swatches for the Viseart, what do I call this one? The Bijoux 12 pan. Right there. This is what the packaging looks like on that guy. And the last Viseart palette I bought is the Cashmere, and this one is really pretty. This is a plummy brown 12 pan right here. This is what the packaging on this one looks like. So again, this is Cashmere. This is a standalone for me. Oof. And then these guys. And then the last row here. Gosh, that's a pretty killer story. So that one there is Cashmere. Right here from Viseart. And then lastly, for items that I purchased, I got in the order that I made off of Visage USA for Chikuhodo's 2 holiday sets, which there are 3 things that I always like have to have every holiday season. They bring me the holiday vibes. And that's the Chikuhodo holiday sets, which they always come out with 2, a smaller one and a larger one, the Guerlain Meteorites, and then the Dior Quints. Those are things that I buy like every year during the holidays. So I went ahead and I got the larger set and the smaller set. They did sell out on Food A Beauty really quickly. Beautylish usually gets these in, but I have not seen them on the website yet. So again, I purchased mine off of Visage USA, and they're actually having a Black Friday sale as well. But the holiday sets are excluded from the sale. But they also, I mean, Chikuhodo brushes are super great. I use several of them every single day. So the 5 brush set comes with a brush pouch like so. And you can put your little brushes in there and stuff like that. It's kind of a taupe silver shade. And the set comes with an angled brow brush, which I've been using. And the handles on these are like a blackened teal that fades into black with a little star stream on them. And then it's kind of got a blunt end on there. So this is the little brow brush. And then it comes with a larger kind of flat shader as well. So that's what the flat shader looks like. And there's a little tiny smudger brush too that's pinched. So you could really kind of, if you like to use shadow on the lower lash line, this would be a good one for that. And then there is an angled blush brush, which is also pinched. It's a nice angle to it. And the last brush is a more pointed tapered powder brush. It's very, very super soft. And this is probably the one you could see the detail on the handle the best because it's the largest, but it's got a star stream with the blue on there. They're just really, really beautiful brushes. And then the smaller set came with 3 brushes, and these ones have a blackened purple that fade into black. So I don't know, you'll probably be able to see that better on the larger one, but this is a little pointed like smudger with a nice soft point to it. and it's round all the way. It's not pinched on that one. And then this one's got a little bit larger shadow brush than the one that's in the blue set. So here's the one in the 3 set with the purple handle next to it. So it's larger. It's also pinched though. And I was actually using this for precision kind of highlighter. So there's like some highlighter on it. And then you can see the purple with the little stars on it. And then it comes with a pinched, round, tapered powder brush. This is actually really multi-purpose. Like you can use it to bronze, you can use it for all over powder, you can use it for blush. It's kind of a midi size. So there you can probably see the stars the best on this handle there, and the purple, like purple shift in there. And this one is pinched and round. So those are the 3 that are in the smaller set. I just think they're so beautiful, these brushes. So that's everything for items that I purchased. And I did get in a couple PR packages. This first one is from Sonia G and Beautylish, which I'm always so excited about. She came out with the Niji Pro brush, which I'd been using for bronzer. So it's like a large chubby fan brush. And because of the shape, you can really use this like multi-purpose. Like I could actually use this as a finishing brush too because of the size of it. Or if you want to turn it sideways and use it precision for contour bronzing, like I've been using it for bronzing, and it's really quick but also precise because of the shape. You could also use it for blush, and you can use the side right here to get in there with highlighter. It's like if you're traveling, this is a very multi-purpose face brush in my opinion. So when they launched them, I was like, do I need another one of them? Because I really like the brush. It's just a beautiful, super soft, functional brush that you can use again so many different ways, but they sold out really quickly. But Sonia is really good about restocking all of her brushes, and I did read on Instagram that this will be restocked. So this is the Niji Pro brush right here. Again, it's a really good face brush. And Sonia G brushes, again, I'll grab with this Chikuhodo powder brush from the holiday set. Same amazing quality as Chikuhodo, Hakuhodo. They're handmade Japanese makeup brushes. So love the lacquering. This is a burgundy that fades into a black, burgundy red, I guess, with a blend. So you can really see the size of it like that. Just super nice brush right there, and a huge thank you to Sonia and Beautylish for sending this over. I love me a Sonia G brush. And then yesterday I got a package from BK Beauty, and it had this really nice travel brush set in there. And BK Beauty makes some really amazing synthetic makeup brushes. Like the quality is just there. They feel really weighty and nice in the hands, and the actual synthetic bristles, they're textured on the ends, so they're not like super smooth all the way down where it makes it difficult to kind of pick up some of those stiffer products. They actually have a texture to the very tips, which is my preferred bristle for a synthetic brush, and these ones do have that. So the set comes in this really nice pouch. It's a little bit bigger than the Chikuhodo one with the 5 brush set, so I actually think I'm going to swap out the little brush pouch that I had for traveling for this one, because it's just a really good size, and it also has a good, like, decent amount of width to it, so it's not going to squish your brushes either. And then you have got 5 brushes in there, and then there's a little pouch over here to put stuff in. I also like that this one isn't an individualized pouch. I think that a larger pouch like this holds my brushes better as opposed to the ones that's individualized. Maybe that's just me, but let me show you guys the brushes that come in here. So we've got the T101, so T must be for travel. This is a really good brush for like foundation and also like setting powder. It's got a angle to it. And these are just really soft synthetics with textured bristled ends, which again, those are my favorite synthetics, is a textured super soft bristle like this. This would be great for liquid too. I think this would be a good one too for maybe cream blush. So that one is the T101 right there, and it's got like a burgundy brown handle on there with the silver ferrule. And then you've got kind of a multi-purpose pinched powder brush right here. Gosh, these are soft. Really, really soft. And this one's the T107 right there. And then you've got 3 eye brushes. And you've got the T203, which is a pinched kind of flat shader, but it also has a little bit of a bushiness to the end, so you could blend really well with a brush like this. And then you've got a little domed, I wouldn't say it's quite a, well, it's kind of a pencil brush, but it's a circular all the way around. I actually use little brushes like this to kind of blend out more precision crease work kind of deal. And then you've also got the T202, which is a circular all the way around blender brush. I really do like the BK Beauty brush line. I was looking at the Angie collaboration. I was like, should I get those? Because that looks like a really nice set from BK Beauty as well. But a huge thank you to BK Beauty for sending these over. Not only are the brushes very nice, I've had her big range for quite a while. They've all been washed and used pretty decently, and I haven't had any troubles with them. Like I said, the quality is really nice. And then this is the brush book, or brush case that it comes in. I really do like this case, like a lot. It's a nice brush case for travel for sure. And that's a good range of brushes for traveling as well. Like, I wonder if my Niji Pro would fit in this right here. Yeah, it would. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Niji Pro fits right in there. I could probably just head out with my Niji Pro and these 5 and be good. And then lastly, I got a PR package from M Cosmetics, which I have purchased from them quite a few times. I really like their 6-pan eyeshadow palettes. And they had messaged me and asked to send me some stuff, and I didn't want to get doubles of ones that I already had, so I told them I didn't have the newest one, and they sent that over. And they sent over the products in this very interesting, like, wipeable, reusable silicone bag. I've never seen like a bag like this before. And you just, to close it, you just like squeeze it, like kind of like a baggie, and it shuts. And I got an email that M Cosmetics, I think, is doing 25% off their entire website. So they just came out with highlighters, and I was looking at possibly purchasing one of those, but I just can't tell if they're going to be too dark for me. They look really pretty, but I'm scared that it's going to be, the lightest one might still be too dark for me. If you've tried them, I'd love to know if you guys think that one of those shades would work for me, because I really do want to try them. So anyway, in the bag, they sent over the Pick Me Up Volume and Length Mascara. So it comes in a purple packaging. And I've heard really good things about this mascara. I have not tried this one just yet, though. So let me see. This is made in Korea. I really do love me some Korean skincare and products. The packaging is a pastel purple. Very pretty. Let's look at the wand on this. Ooh, it's got a rubber bristle wand. I really like a rubber brush. Looks like it's going to separate really well. So I'll let you guys know if I absolutely love it. You guys will be hearing about it. If it doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, and it lengthens and volumizes, we'll be onto something. So that's the mascara that they sent over. And then they also sent over this quartz gloss, which is a clear gloss. This is another product I have not tried, but I've heard really good things about. I actually think this particular set they sent over is part of a holiday set that they have on their website. So this is a clear gloss. I have put this on, and it feels really comfortable on the lips, and it looks really shiny. It feels almost like not an oil, but it's not like super sticky like a normal gloss. It's substantial, but it feels hydrating, if that makes sense. I don't know what kind of justice it would do to swatch a clear gloss, but I will do it anyways. So that is the gloss right there, and that's the clear one in quartz. And then in the set was also this Venetian Rose Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. And I do get along with the M Cosmetics eyeshadow formulation. So there are 6 shadows that are 0.05 ounces a piece in here. And this palette is made in Italy. And I'm going to go ahead and show this one next to the other 2 as well, so you can see them next to each other in terms of the shade range. So this one has got 3 shimmers and 3 matte shades. I can make this one work as a standalone palette because of these 2 shades right here. So I'll do these 3 shimmers together. So those are the shimmers. And then here are the mattes. They are so smooth. So that is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette in Venetian Rose, which is their latest launch. And then let me grab the other 2. So here we've got the original Divine Skies with the cream colored packaging. The center one is a Faded Clementine, and then the rose packaging over here is the Venetian Rose. So all very wearable palettes, in my opinion, but the shimmers are very nice and shiny in these. And also a huge thank you to M Cosmetics for sending over those products. So that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.